Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today I thought I would do a roundup of my current favourites. I've got a couple of beauty items, some TV shows that I have been loving watching, and just a few odd random ones that didn't really fit into another category. So let's get into it. We'll start off with the beauty and makeup faves. My first one is the Clinique Moisture Surge 72 Hour Auto Replenisher Hydrator. Crikey. That is a bit of a mouthful, that title. I have been using this for about a year and a half. This is probably the third pot that I've bought since I first started using it, and it is my new fave. I'd say my new fave, I've been using it a year and a half, but it is a staple favourite of mine in my sort of makeup bag, and I don't know if I'd switch back out of it again. It's just such an amazing moisturiser. If you have really dry skin that's kind of like a little bit flaky in winter, or even like all year round like mine is, this is going to be your holy grail. It makes your skin feel nice and hydrated and smooth. It stops like foundation clinging to dry bits, and unless you've got a foundation that just likes to cling to dry bits, which some of them do, this is just going to save all of your dry skin woes. The next favourite of mine is another Clinique product, and that is their Chubby Stick lip balms. The main reason I think these are great is, much like the moisturiser, they are very hydrating for the lips, and the main selling point for me for them is that unlike a lot of tinted lip balms, they actually pack quite a bit of pigment, and they've got quite a bit of staying power, unlike some other tinted lip balms I've tried. This one I've got in the shade To A Whole Lot of Honey, which is kind of a nudie, your lips but better colour. It goes very well with the matte liquid lipstick I've got on today, which is from Wet n Wild. So sometimes what I will do for work is I'll put this liquid lipstick on in the morning and then just top it up during the day with this. It's a very good combo and kind of a staple fave, much like the Clinique Moisture Surge moisturiser. Moving away from Clinique but sticking on the makeup theme, we have my next favourite, which is this brow pencil from Avon. This particular brow pencil is from their Mark range, and it is their perfect brow sculpting pencil in the shade Soft Brown. If you had told me back in December that this particular brow product would make it into my favourites, I probably would have told you were crazy. Purely because the first couple of times I used this product, I didn't actually like how it looked on me. And I think that was purely because I was so used to seeing myself, my brows at least, after having used a pomade, I can never say that word right, I always sound like an idiot saying it, but anyway, before I got this I was using the Anastasia Dip Brow, and before that I used Benefit's Brow. So of course a pomade, however you want to say it, is going to give you a different look to how a pencil did. So switching back to a pencil took a little while for me to get used to seeing my brows like that again, but I actually prefer it. I can still get a very defined look if I want, but it is so much easier to do a very like natural, quick, easy brow look for every day, so for work, or if I don't really feel like doing full-on glam makeup. If you've watched any of my previous hair care or favourites videos, you would know my holy grail hair product was the Leighton House 6-in-1 cream, I think it was called. However, that has now changed. It is now the Osmo Wonder 10 leave-in effects treatment. The main reason I switched out from Leighton House to this was because I was finding it really difficult to get hold of the Leighton House product. They stopped doing it in the hairdressing supply shop that I used to get it from. You couldn't find it online anywhere, and I was like, this is getting a bit ridiculous for a hair care product, spending ages trying to search for it. So I switched to this, which is actually what my hairdresser uses on me in the salon, so I know it works and I like it. And it does, it makes my hair really nice and soft. I would say less frizzy, but the humidity, and I haven't blow dried my hair, so not a good example of that, but it does help tame frizz. The last beauty favourite of mine is a product from Lush, and that is one of their shower gels in the scent Prince Charming. This has been one of my favourites for the last 4 years. I always make sure I get one when they come out with the Valentine's collection, and controversially I actually prefer it to Snow Fairy. It's not as sweet as Snow Fairy, which I prefer, and I just think it smells better, but I think it's one of those ones in the Lush collection that's a bit like Marmite. People either absolutely love it or they... With currently being in lockdown, it's actually given me a good chance to catch up on all the TV shows that I've wanted to watch for ages. I'll share with you my top 3 that I have been loving at the moment. The first one being is the X-Files. Now, I watched the entire X-Files series probably back in 2008, 2009. Absolutely loved it. Couldn't get enough of it. Watched the films. As soon as they announced a revival, I was like, yes, more X-Files. Absolutely loved seasons 10 and 11, which I know some fans didn't, but I really liked them, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed for a season 12, even though I know it won't happen. But during lockdown, I was like, you know what, actually, it's been about 10 years since I watched the series all the way through. So I restarted from season 1, and I'm doing a rewatch through all the way up to season 11. I'm currently on season 5, I'm about halfway through. and I love it. It's just such a good show. It's quite old now. It was filmed in the 90s up to the early 2000s, but it's held its shape pretty well, and I just think the storyline's great. It gets a little bit Games of Thronesy and kind of lose the plot a little bit halfway through, but it's a good show and I would recommend watching it if you like Stranger Things or anything kind of sci-fi or alien based. The next show I have been loving is Sex Education on Netflix. I am full on aware that I'm very late to the party with watching this, but I've had it on my watch list for ages and just never got round to it. But I'm so glad that I have. I watched one episode and I was like, I need to watch all of this now. And I binge watched 2 seasons in the space of probably 3 days. Probably could have done it quicker, but I did try and restrict myself a little bit. I just think it's one of those shows, it's a feel good, it's emotional and roller coaster, it shows things that other shows would never do in the past, and I just think it's a great coming of age story, and I cannot wait for season 3. The end of season 2 left me wanting more, and I really hope season 3 comes soon. The final TV show I have been loving is a TV series called The Fall. It was originally on BBC, but it is now on Amazon Prime, all 4 seasons. Yes, it is not lost on me that Gillian Anderson stars in all 3 of these TV shows, but she's just a great actress, and all 3 of these shows have been on my watch list for forever. Anyway, going back to The Fall, this show is the story of a serial killer and a detective superintendent from the Metropolitan Police. It's kind of a hard show to describe. I'm rubbish at describing shows as well, however. The storyline is so dynamic, and it's one of those shows that it's really easy to binge watch because you don't notice you finish an episode, you started another one. I was watching it the other Sunday and didn't realise I'd been watching it for 4 hours and had watched 4 episodes. I thought I'd maybe watched 2, but I was so entranced by the storyline, and oh god, again, wish they would do another season, but I think it's unlikely because the storyline is finished with season 4, but I would like to see them start it up again, maybe with a new storyline. The last favourite I'm going to share is a bit of a random one, but what's a favourites video without some random favourite thrown in? And my random favourite at the moment is croissants, and not any croissants, the croissants from the Lidl bakery in particular. Them with a coffee, ugh, don't know what it is about it at the moment, but if anyone asks me what would you want for breakfast, Lidl croissant and a coffee would be my dream combo. However, I've managed to restrict myself to only doing it on weekends because a croissant is not the most healthy or nutritional breakfast, so I restrict it to weekends. It's a little bit of a weekend treat. So that is all my current favourites of the moment. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and click that subscribe button so you don't miss my next upload. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!